Good morning, all of my bookish friends and followers. My name is Christine. Welcome or welcome back to my corner where we talk about all things books all of the time. So it has been a little bit of a while. I have had so much going on. So let's see. My last video, I told you guys I was going to the Kenny Chesney concert, and we did. I will be posting some pictures. And I did take a couple videos of him singing, and I'd love to post them. I just don't know if I will be allowed to because of copyright. But I'll try, and worst case, I'll have to delete it. But anyway, so we did that. I did not get home and in bed until about 2:15 that morning, the next morning. And it literally took me the entire week to catch back up because that's what my body does to me. But it's fine. It's fine. It was well worth it. I absolutely loved it. It was a great show. He loves playing at Gillette, and I love seeing him at Gillette. I have seen him at other places, but it's just not the same vibe. I don't know how to explain it. It just isn't. It's good. It's just not the same. He loves Gillette, you can tell, and we love to see him at Gillette. So that's all. Also, I started school. This week was the first week. Today is Thursday, so we started on Tuesday. I did go in last Wednesday for orientation. We did that, and then I left, and we started with kids Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday. So today is our third day. First day was like herding kittens. Have you ever seen those videos where people are trying to get kittens lined up and they keep walking off and they jump? And yeah, that was our first day. I was so excited. Not excited. I was excited, but I was so tired when I got home that, hi Maxwell. Let's see if he'll grace us with his presence on camera. Hey, BB. Yeah, so it was just crazy. It was the first day. It was a typical first day where everybody is just meeting the teachers. Just, it was crazy. But it's okay. Yesterday was a lot better, and I'm hoping that today will be even better than yesterday, even though yesterday was pretty good. So there's that. I finished reading The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. Oh my word, this book was so good. It was so good. It was kind of a thriller, mystery kind of a story. It's a multi-timeline and multi-perspective storyline. So if you don't like that, I don't know how you'll feel about this, but I can tell you it's very clear where they are. So this is just a chapter I opened up to. If you see at the top of the chapter, you see Alice. So in this is a chapter about Alice, and then there's this timeline, and it is right there. It is in bold, and so it tells you the time frame you're in. And as you can see, it goes from 1950s to August of 1975. I never had a problem with figuring out where or who I was reading. It is a story about, in the 1950s, a little boy of a wealthy family who goes missing, and nobody knows where he is. His mother is she's an alcoholic. She abuses drugs. Yes, back in the 50s, she did. And she's just really out of it. And her husband and the rest of the wealthy family just kind of tolerate her. On their property in mountainside of New York, like upper state New York, I'm thinking, they have a ton of land. They have their private house up there. And then across the street, which is their street, they have a preserve, a nature preserve. And they have donated that to a camp in the summer for kids. So then further ahead in time, after they've lost their little boy, the mom gets pregnant again, and she has a little girl. And the little girl is a troublemaker. However, as you read, you see that she's a troublemaker for a reason. And you see that. Neglect, maybe some verbal abuse. She's never physically abused. And for her last summer, before they send her away to a European, I believe, if I remember correctly, it was a European boarding school. And she was going to go there. She's like, I think she's 13 or 14. And they're going to send her there just to get her out from under their feet. They're going to send her away. Well, she goes missing from the summer camp towards the end of the summer camp. So what you are learning about is the family, all of their troubles, and you are also trying to find out what happened to the young son, whom they call Bear. Nobody knows what happened to him. So they're trying to find out what happened to him, but you're also trying to find out what happens to his sister, who also goes missing. So it was so good. It was so good. I loved it so much. Liz Moore's writing is effortless. It's effortless to read. And I love those kind of books. I absolutely love those books where, you know, there's some books when you're reading that you have to like pay attention to every single word. I don't like those. Hi, buddy. Look, it's Maxwell. Hey, buddy. Yeah. I don't like those books where you have to like be so focused on reading and understanding what you're reading. I like these books where I can just fall into them, and I am part of the camp. I'm part of the rescue group looking for the children. You know what I mean? Like, those are the books I like. I love it when I can fall into the story and I just totally forget that I am reading. It's almost like I am experiencing it, and those are the books that I absolutely love. So, what was I listening to? I finished the series Daisy Jones and the Six. So I had read the book. I listened to the book on Audible, and then I watched the series. Loved the series. Loved it. I am going to tell you, there was only one part that I can think of where it differed from the book, and it wasn't even a major plot point. It really wasn't. In the book, the lead's wife has a daughter, and then they have twins, and in the series she doesn't have twins. So I mean, it's not a huge thing. It was just something I kept waiting for. I'm like, when is she going to say she's pregnant? And she doesn't. But the rest of the story, the show was so stuck to the book, and I love that. What I liked more about the series is that I could actually hear the music, because when you're reading or with Audible, even if you're listening, you don't hear the music. And in the show, they play the music. So I so enjoyed it. That is something that I will rewatch again, just because I liked it so much. So there was that, and then wait, I don't remember what I was listening to the last time we talked, because I finished it and I started a new book. So let me check my Goodreads. Oh no. Oh, The Hobbit. That's what it was. I was listening to The Hobbit. I finished that. There were spots I did try at first to just read, and I just couldn't fall into it. So I was listening to it on Audible while following in the book. Sometimes I was just listening, because if I was driving down to work or something like that, then I would just listen to the book. I can't follow along while I'm driving, so obviously I didn't do that. But if I was at home, then I would follow with the book. Um, the the reader, the person who was doing the reading, was phenomenal. He did all the voices. I could tell who was talking just by listening to the voice he was using. It was awesome. It was almost as good as the movie, although I saw the movie before I read the book. I saw it years and years ago with my son. So, um, yeah, I loved it. And then I opened up Nestlings. That's what I'm listening to. Oh, wait. That's what I'm listening to now. It is Nestlings by Nat Cassidy. I am not sure. What's going on yet, because I don't know much about it. So it takes place in New York, and there is this young Jewish couple who had a baby girl, and during delivery, the wife got paralyzed during the birth. Something they didn't realize until after, like the next day when they were trying to get her up out of bed and stuff, and she couldn't get up. So she's now in a wheelchair, and they won a lottery to be housed in this gorgeous, wealthy building. So they move in, they're feeling so grateful, and then the next thing you know, weird things are happening in the building. Yeah. I am about, let's see if I can tell how far I am. I'm almost halfway through it. So things are really just starting to get good right now. It's, I almost wish that I was reading it, because if it's written as well as it is performed, it would probably be really, really creepy. Yeah. So I'm kind of, in a way, I wish I was reading it, but in another way, I'm just glad to be listening to it. Very excited. So, now that we're all caught up, I am thinking I have to go to work in like an hour. I have an hour to kill. I'm trying to think. This, I am already, usually I like to save my really scary horror stories for October, but this year I have so many of them that I want to read that I think I'm going to start like now. So once I finish reading, what am I reading right now? I like so forget what I'm reading. Oh, I picked up, I didn't even tell you. After I finished reading my last book, I picked up Ghost Story by Peter Straub. So I was watching YouTube, and I saw this reader, YouTuber, booktuber, who listed his top 10 favorite horror movies, books of all time. And the Ghost Story by Peter Straub was, I think, number 10, if I'm remembering correctly. It's towards the bottom of the list. But I was watching the video and I was taking notes, and I was like, ooh, that one sounds really good. I remember Ghost Story not as a book, but it was, I think, a TV series back in the late 70s, early 80s. And I remember my parents watching it, but I didn't. So now that kind of reminded me of it. And I was like, ooh, maybe I will read that before I really get into the mood to read something else. Let me pick this up and start reading it and get into it. So I have done that. I have not gotten much reading done, even though I have listened to my audiobook for hours on end. I listen to it while I'm getting ready in the morning. That's about an hour. And then I listen to it on my way to work and from work. And so that's like another 40 minutes. So I'm getting in like almost 2 hours of reading every day without even picking up a book. And then when I get home, then it's time for me to start. You know, I got to take care of the dogs, and then it's time for me to start doing dinner and get all that ready. And then by the time I'm done with dinner, I am just so tired that I cannot keep my eyes open enough to read. So I'm going to try today. I don't have to cook dinner today. I made chicken nachos last night, and they were delicious. And there's plenty for another meal. So we're going to have that tonight. So hopefully when I get home, I will change and I will sit down and read for a few hours. Like read Ghost Story, because I want to get moving. I've been really, hey buddy, I've just had a hard time lately picking up a book. I just don't like, it's not that I don't want to, it's just that I find a whole bunch of other things that I have to do. Maxwell's tail. He's behind me. Yeah. There's just a ton of other things that I want or have to do. And so I don't find that I have a lot of time. Hi, buddy. You so cute. You are so cute. Mama loves you. Yeah. So I'm just having, like, once I sit down and I pick up the book, I'm fine. It's just a matter of sitting down and picking it up. It's almost like I have to make myself do it, if that makes sense. So I will get moving on that. Because if I don't get moving on reading, I'm not going to get a lot of books read that I want to get read. I also have the newest Jodi Picoult. That one was mailed out to me. It's coming from Once Upon a Book Club. Trying to remember. I think I got the email last week that they shipped it, and their shipping seems slow. So I guess what happens is they create a label at their warehouse or whatever, and they pack the boxes, they put the label on, and then they put it in a carrier. Well, as soon as the label is printed, USPS gets it. They get notification of it. But it can sit there for 2 or 3 days before it even gets to the post office. So we're at the end of the week. I might get it tomorrow or Saturday. It's not coming today. I already checked. So hopefully it's coming soon, because I'd like to read that one. But again, I have so many books that I want to read for the spooky season. I'm going to try really hard not to say spooky 1,000,000 times a video, because I did it last year. Everything was spooky, and I'm going to try not to use that. I get stuck on words sometimes, and it's the only thing that comes out of my mouth. So that's it. So anything else I wanted to tell you? I know what's going to happen is I'm going to turn off the camera and I'm going to be like, oh, that's what I wanted to say. That's okay. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to get ready to work. Maybe I can get a little bit of reading of Ghost Story done before I leave for work. If not, I'll do it this afternoon. And I will keep you guys updated. Would you do me a favor? And if you've made it to the end of this video, would you please leave me any emoji related to a book? If you could find any emoji related to a book, if you could leave that in comments, I would appreciate it. I will tell you, I was a little frustrated, a little bit so, because as I was watching YouTube and BookTubers, I came across this gentleman's site that he put up his first video 2 weeks ago, and he already has 3,000 subscribers. Would you like to know how many I have? 30. 30. I don't know what I did or what I am not doing to get subscribers. I don't know. I was a little bit frustrated, And I was like, that's it. I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm all done. I quit. And then I thought about it. Um, and as you can tell, I am going to continue. But it is very frustrating. So if you could do that, leave me any emoji related to a book. And then maybe if you could click on like, if you haven't subscribed, but you watch my videos, because I see tons of people who are viewing my content, but they're not subscribing. So if you subscribe, if you watch it regularly, would you please hit subscribe? Just boop, boop. You don't have to hit the bell. You don't have to be notified when I have a new release that comes out or whatever, but I would appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. Make time to read, and I will see you guys at the next video. Bye.